Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, I am OverHugs, and I would like to welcome you back to episode 6 of Building Bread. Thanks for coming. I'm happy you're here to join us on our adventure today. And today we're going to be doing a couple of different things. First off, we're going to be recruiting a strider to help us in our search for Nether Fortresses. We want to get some items to help us with our Minecraft journey, especially preparing for future episodes. So we want to get the things that are necessary in order to create potions. So this will take us through all of the biomes that we haven't seen yet in the new 1.16 Nether, as we are searching for a specific item within the biomes themselves. So let's start our journey. We find ourselves in a different biome than we're used to seeing before in this series. And this is a Basalt Delta. And right now we're just passing through, because what we actually want to do is find ourselves a warped, what are they called? Warped forests, I think is what they're called. Because we are looking for a project for this episode. And Eagle Eye viewers who read the title or the video description already will know what we're looking for, so there's no point to really keep it secret. We're trying to find a warped fungus, and the reason we're looking for this is right now it's been very difficult for us to find a... Ooh, yes, let's back up for a minute. Remember how I said that lava traveled much faster in the Nether? Well, there we go. Lava travels much faster in the Nether. I, for one, don't feel like being burned to death today, so I'm going to try and avoid it. So what we're trying to do as we move through here is find ourselves a piece of warped fungus, and those are only found in the warped forest biome. And the reason we need this is because I'm going to try and recruit a strider. Striders are new 116 mobs that allow you to ride on them across lava. They are lava proof, which is pretty handy, and they kind of get hilariously cold if you pull them out of the lava, and I'll show that once we get one. But the reasoning for this is that I've run around a bit off camera, and I've not seen any trace of Nether Fortresses anywhere. And we really need a Nether Fortress in order to get blaze rods, and we need blaze rods to make potions. This is interesting. Okay. So this isn't that uncommon, and that's why I'm kind of hesitant whenever I'm digging. That's a really cool lighting effect, though, by the way. Good job, Minecraft. So this isn't too uncommon that you end up coming out in somewhere that is a giant, seemingly unpassable lake of lava. And we can get across this by basically just pillaring over. But you'll notice I have a potion of fire resistance on my hotbar, because there are just times when you slip and fall, and I, for one, don't feel like restarting from zero at this point in the series, at least gear-wise. Everything in Minecraft is recoverable. That's one thing definitely to keep in mind as you play this. You're going to die. Unless you're even if you're playing on hardcore, you're going to die. This is not the end of all things whenever you do it. The best time to plan for your death is before you do it. And the reason for that is it's good to have a spare set of gear and materials, at least so that you can recover your gear if you do die in somewhere that doesn't eat all your gear. Like right now, if I were to fall in this pit of lava and die, that would be the end of everything that I currently had equipped. While we're cutting through here, I want to take a minute and appreciate the music that came out as part of this update. It is straight out fantastic. I think the people and the composers did an amazing job, because this is just ominous. Like, I'm hearing this, the music makes me think at any second I can slip and I can die, and it's adding in the correct source of, like, making you hesitant and concerned. Like, they really captured that atmosphere fantastically, and I love the little Geiger counter noise that's in the background every now and then, because that just gives you Like, you're in this radioactive atmosphere with all the particles flying around, and it just gives you, again, this sense of foreboding that you're in a place that is hostile to you and would be happy to see you not there anymore, to say the least. So where we are right now is a soul sand biome. And what is interesting about this is there's two main blocks here. There's soul sand and soul soil. And soul sand we've seen before. We needed that in order to make our bubble columns. But soul soil, which is this new one here, does neat things like, for example, thank you, Gas, for being demonstrative. What it gives us is the ability to get these blue lanterns and blue fire. So it gives us this really neat blue flame that we haven't seen anywhere before 1.16, which gives you not only some interesting effects, but also the ability to do different lanterns and campfires. The plus about these is they don't cause things like ice to melt. So you can get some really interesting lighting effects and still be relatively low enough light where you can build in ice, but not so much that you still have to worry about monsters. And we're going to pick up these bone blocks here, which are also new in this, because I can definitely use that much bone meal. Okay, so Crimson Forest. So this is great. And we completed a advancement at the same time. Hooray, we have now seen all of the different biomes. And that's disappointing because that means we were in a biome that we needed before, and we didn't pick up the items that we needed. Alright, so let's get a couple of things. I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you. So we'll pick up a couple of the mushrooms while we're here, and we'll use our Silk Touch to pick up some of the blocks, the mycelium blocks. This will also give us a chance to take a look at some of the lights of these things, which are called shroom lights. And shroom lights, oh yay, that's exactly what we needed. Now we have it. I didn't realize I could get this here, but... Okay, so that is exactly what we needed, was warped fungus. So this is a nice little coincidence, and very... I learned something today along with you. I didn't know that we could get that here. But, so this is a Crimson Forest, and this is primarily the biome that piglins spawn in. If you wanted to get the majority of piglins, this is where you would build, like, a farm for them. There's not a lot of things that require piglins, so farms like that don't have a lot of use yet, but I'm sure they will eventually. We can also get these crimson funguses. These are actually giant mushrooms, but they behave the same as wood, which is kind of entertaining in itself. And if you were doing a single nether-only build, this would be your primary source of wood as you were playing. It also has these blocks, which are... if I can come in here, was one of the reasons why we need the hoe. The hoe will get these, and these are, if we look at the block itself, these are Nether Wart blocks. You can make these by harvesting Nether Wart, and quite frankly, that's what we're looking for the Nether Fortresses for, because we need those in order to make potions. But these aren't uncraftable. Once you build it into a block, it is a block forever. Unlike certain things, like, for example, coal, that you can build into a block and then remove from the block. Once you build Nether Wart into a block, it is a block forever, and you are trapped. Other interesting things, and these are one of my favorites, is this is a shroom light that I'm pulling down right now. And you see whenever we place this, and that's such a good sound. That is just like, I don't know what to say. Like, it's such a satisfying sound. I could plant these things for like 10 minutes. Bong. But enough of that. No, one more. Bong. Alright. So this is also an interesting new block because I do love lighting blocks. Lighting blocks and lighting in Minecraft is one of my favorite things, and I'm genuinely jealous of RTX that they get colored light and reflectivity long before we do. Curse you, Bedrock. Curse you. And we're back to our house after getting our nether bounty, and we will take a moment to make ourselves the warped fungus on a stick. So this is step 1 of getting our strider. Step 2 is figuring out where we put our saddle within the chest monster here, because, here we go, because it is very rapidly becoming a chest monster. Alright, so now that we have that, what we're going to do is go back to the Nether and try and find ourselves a strider that we can get. Okay, and now through the magic of editing, we are in the Nether, and there are definitely some striders around here, but they're all pretty far away. I don't think we can fish them over that far. So let's wander over here and see if we have any better luck, which unfortunately we don't. Okay, so what this means is we're going to have to take away some of this netherrack and basically bridge on over to the other side. I like fried chicken. I don't like fried hugs. So we're getting closer and closer to our strider friends over here. Tasty goodies. I like... Hi! He's like, what are you doing out there? It's dangerous. Let's see, can we get you? Come to me. Haha. Nope, come back. Yay. Now we should be able... And we're good to go! Hooray! So, now at least, we're at the point of where we can wander around on the strider and cross the lava. Because this would be terrifying in pretty much any other time period. And we're going to wander around a little while and see if we can find ourselves another fortress. I really need another fortress in order to get some blazes, in order to get some blaze rods. Nether fortresses will be made of nether brick, and they will have large structures rising up out of either the lava or the ground, wherever they are at the moment. And here we are, success. We have found ourselves another fortress, and as we come up here, we should also get the achievement. You see that these things are much slower out of the lava, and they get cold and they shiver, and it's kind of adorable. I need you to stay, stay, stay. Okay. Alright, good. So this is a Nether Fortress, and you can see up there a mob that is unique to the Wither Fortresses, a Wither Skeleton. And I'm not too excited about running into Wither Skeletons right now, mostly because my armor is not that good yet, nor are my weapons, and they hit hard. Not to mention they also add the Wither effect, which what the Wither effect does, if you're not familiar with it, is this. Whoa. Okay, that's the Wither effect, and that was scary. It basically withers you down. You see that our hearts were continuing to go down while we were being attacked there. And luckily, we killed the Wither Skeleton before it killed us, and we're able now to eat and regain health. But it's basically, it's like a poison. It just, you continue to lose health. And let's, actually, okay, and that's all the arrows we have. Alright, so that actually went okay. But, yeah, Wither Skeletons are scary. Well, as we go in here, this should definitely give us the advancement. Yep, a terrible fortress. Okay, better. Alright, so what we are here for is we want to find a blaze. And blazes are flying mobs that look basically like they're made of fire. One of the other reasons that you would take on Wither Skeletons is to get their skull. Very rarely, I believe, with a full-on enchanted setup that maximizes the levels you can get, 1 out of every 20 will drop a Wither Skeleton skull. And you can use these skulls, if you gather 3 of them, to make arguably the toughest boss in the whole game, the Wither. And if you're able to defeat the Wither, you get a Nether Star. But that's another episode. Okay. Blaze and a skeleton. Okay, we're gonna chug this because I don't want to die, so now we're immune to fire. This is the advantages of using a fire potion, because now the blazes can't hurt us. And we got into fire, which I believe is the achievement for collecting. Yep, leave a blaze, heart ride a strider. We're just getting Advancement City here right now. more so. Oh, whoa. Okay, well, there's a blaze spawner right there, so that's good news for us. Because then we can get as many blazes as we want. Relatively safely. When we dispose of all the wither skeletons that are here. Of which there are a lot. Wow, normally it is really hard to find these things. I need to keep this in mind for when we build a wither skeleton farm, but that's another episode. Alright, so let's heal, and I'm hearing another one. Wow. This is fantastic. I am 100% going to remember this. Usually, I struggle finding these things. When we eventually get to the point of where we're trying to farm them, you're lucky if you just get a couple. But, alright, now that we found this, so this is the same thing as what we saw with our death. Well, that was unfortunate. Alright, so let's talk about what you do when you die. So we've come back to our respawn, and I've pulled stuff out of the chest to just basically make a set of armor and some tools. What we're also going to do this time is we're going to be a little more intelligent than we were before, and we're going to create a respawn anchor. And the way that we can do that at this point, if you look at the crafting recipe, and we search an anchor, we need crying obsidian and glowstone. We already have the crying obsidian, we don't have the glowstone. That is something we can get and we can craft. So basically, looking back, what happened there and what went wrong was I thought my fire resistance potion was still active. So I wasn't taking the blazes as a serious threat, when in fact they were. Looking back, I'm used to having potions that last longer, and that was my mistake right there. But, yeah, how to increase potions, that's another episode. So, what we did before was, while we were going through and trying to find a Nether Fortress, we carved this tunnel through, and this got us over to this side over here. But, so we are 300 blocks away from our death, which is a lot. And we do have a limited amount of time in order to get there, because otherwise our gear will despawn, and that would be really bad. So we're getting there. We're almost back. Whether this is in time or not, I don't know. We'll have to find out. But now, at least on the positive side, since we know where the fortress is, we can get back quickly. Alright. Quick, but not careless. You also see most nether mobs are immune to fire. That guy took a fireball in the back, and he didn't even blink. Not again. Not again. Ah! Okay, so we've managed to make it back here, and didn't do this the easy way. This was after quite a lot of going up and getting new gear and leveling, because this just wrecked me more than once. And it, quite frankly, was quite frustrating. So let's get out of here again and not die, because that would really be dumb. And what we're going to do is we're going to place our respawn anchor, and we're going to fully charge it up and place our respawn point here. Chest goes here. Extra stuff goes in it, because we don't want to lose all this. We definitely lost some stuff. There's some stuff missing, which is really unfortunate that it despawned before we could get back, because I don't see our pickaxes, which is very sad. But so we lost a decent amount of gear, because this is where we died the second time? I don't even know. Yeah, so we died at least twice while doing this, which I will tell you is extremely frustrating, but we bounced back. Alright, so what we're going to do now is do what our original goal was, And we're going to attempt to get some blaze rods, because you see we don't have any, so those also despawned from our first time. So this is showing us that we need to be a little bit more careful and be a little bit more prepared with what we do. While we're here, we're going to place a couple of torches, because I want this section to be nice and safe if we do end up dying. And let's actually farm up some blaze rods. Just like the zombie spawner that we had, this will spin for a while. It will generate 2 to 4 blazes. And there we go. More blaze rods. And these guys still hit pretty hard. So let's run back to our little safe area and wall ourselves in so we won't be disturbed. And take out some obsidian and some ender pearls. Because what we're going to do with this is we're going to take the blaze rods and turn it to blaze powder. And once we have blaze powder, you'll see we get another ability where we can make an eye of ender. And once we have an eye of ender, that's another recipe where now we can make an ender chest. And ender chests, like I was talking about before, are awesome. Whenever you have one, you can put a variety of things that you want in it. Unfortunately, right now, since we lost our pickaxes, I don't have one with silk touch. So if I were to come through and mine this now, what we'll do is we'll put some of our better equipment in here that we don't need. We'll return this to the chest itself. So what we can do is, you see this acts like another container where we can just put items within it. Now, the cool thing is that this ender chest can be picked up. If you have silk touch, you can mine it. And while mining it, it'll be picked up as an item. So it basically gives you a whole nother inventory that you can carry around with you. Now, the challenge is that we only have... we don't have silk touch. So if you watch when I do this, it will mine and it will break back into its obsidian component. And we lose the Eye of Ender. But the good thing is because we have quite a few ender pearls that we got through bartering, and we have a basically endless supply of blaze powder as long as we're willing to go kill blaze rods and we don't run out of food, it's not a big deal. Now we're going to wander around and look for Nether Wart, which is the other reason that we were here in the first place. Now this could take a while, so I will cut back after I find it. Alright, and here we go. This is the area that Nether Wart spawns in, and if we look through here we can actually see some. So Nether Wart is a required ingredient for almost every single potion, the exception to this being the potion of weakness. And so we're going to gather up a lot of this, and you'll see we learned another ingredient, which was the Nether Wart block, which we talked about earlier. And this is a really interesting merge of the biomes. I haven't seen this before with the bone blocks growing through the window, but we'll take you because we could always use more. Wow, that's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Alright, let's see if we can... Okay. See what else is around here, because a lot of times these Nether Fortresses have some really good treasure. But, high risk, high reward. There's a lot of danger here. And a lot of the treasure here is pretty good early game. And the other thing to be careful with all the other mobs around here, is don't hit the zombie pigmen. Because if you hit the zombie pigmen, all the zombie pigmen in the area will come after you. And that can be range from not many to, oh dear God, we're all gonna die. So, okay, here we have our first chest. And let's see what's in it. Not bad. Little gold, some horse armor, which we'll take. We don't need any of the other stuff. It's not worth it. Okay, can you not get... Oh, you can't get through. That's perfect. I like it when it's zero risk, all reward. What's with this? Alright, I don't see anybody. Yep, and diamonds and gold. I will take that. Oh, we got a blaze head, though. That's something that I have not seen in quite a while. In case I haven't spoken about this before, which I think I have only tangentially, we have the data pack that is mob heads installed. So what that means is there's a low chance that almost any mob, I think there are some restrictions to it, but almost any mob has the capability of dropping its own head. Most of these are purely cosmetic. Like, while we do have things like the wither skeleton skulls, which look like heads, and those are used for items, and things like creeper skulls, or creeper heads, or zombie heads, or skeleton heads, regular skeletons, those do have purposes where they are ingredients to something or something like that. The rest of the heads are purely cosmetic, and they look pretty cool. Like, let's find it right now, and we can just put it right there, and so that's neat. But in addition to that, I think we can also wear them, which we can. And now we are Blazeman. Hello. Hi. How you doing? But it doesn't give us any armor, so we will replace it. Okay, so I think we're pretty good. Let's see if we can get all our stuff here. What can I get rid of? So you saw the loot from what we did. We got some diamonds, we got a bunch of saddles, some armor. It was not bad. So I think what we'll do is we will go through here and we will craft another Eye of Ender. And thus we will craft another nether chest. And just load up some of this stuff. Because these things, as we've seen, death happens. And I'd like to not lose everything that we specifically came here to get. So what we also could do is, if we really didn't care, is we could just load everything up in here and then run to our death. However, I definitely have things here I would like to not lose. So we will figure that out. Alright. Looking good. I think that's pretty much everything. So let's pick up our anchor here. Wow, that takes a long time to mine. I guess probably because you have to power it and they don't want to lose the glowstone. But that's fine. We'll get glowstone and we'll have a farm for that. So, okay. The Nether Wart is also very important. I definitely don't want to lose that. And let's put our golden boots back in our inventory, along with the soul speed boots that we also got from bartering, so that we can run faster on soul sand and soul soil. But otherwise, I think that will do it. We definitely don't need a stone sword. We don't need that stone. We don't need any stone swords. None whatsoever. Okay. So we can leave. We can leave the crafting table. Well, we'll bring it. It serves no purpose here. So we'll bring the crafting table and the chest. Final check. Make sure everything we have is stuff that we don't really mind if we lose, which is true. And we'll mine this up to reclaim the obsidian. Alright, and let's get out of here and see how safely we can do so. I'm going to push my luck and look for a couple more wither skeletons, just because I would really like to show on camera getting the first one. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that. Yep, alright. So much for pushing luck. Let's go. Alright, so showing now that we're out of here, you'll note how much faster we are on soul sand and soul soil. And this is because while we were bartering with piglins in order to get the crying obsidian that we needed for our respawn anchor, we were traded something with soul speed 3. And this is kind of cool to see, because not only do we move fast, but it also has a little effect with those blue souls moving up. But you can see we cruise, especially before when it was on soul sand, which made us move extra slow. This does have a downside, that it is the durability. You can see the durability of this is going pretty far down, but speed is good. So that was a heck of an episode today. Didn't exactly go according to plan, but we covered some stuff that we were going to have to cover at some point in time, so it was an adventure. And I want to thank you for spending your time with me on this adventure. And if you could take a minute to like, subscribe, and tell a friend, I would greatly appreciate it if this content has been funny or valuable to you in some way. As a reminder, I donate all of the profits that I make off of this to local food banks because in this time, we could all use a helping hand. So I've been OverHugs. This has been Building Bread, and I'll see you next time.